By the way, this is shocking to me. This is shocking to me. According to fieldingbible.com, which a lot of folks look at as the Bible for defensive runs saved. And each year they give out their Player of the Year award. So for center fielders only, just this year, 2022, Miles Straw is number one with 8 total runs saved. You got guys like Jose Siri, Cedric Mullins II, Michael A. Taylor have 7 defensive runs saved, so they're tied for second. So I'm looking at this, I'm thinking Harrison Bader's got to be up in the top 5, top 10. No, this is shocking to me. He is at a -2 defensive runs saved in 588 and 2/3 innings. He is at a -2, which puts him, I want to say, like around the top 100-ish. I can't believe it.
No, and
that's very surprising.
That's why, honestly, I wanted to hear this, because early on I checked, and he was near the top, and then I saw so I already built in an excuse as a rights holder. I have 2 words to answer that. Plantar fasciitis. Not the same guy.
Now, I will say this. It looks like a lot of these players, I put it in for center fielders. So I think if you played any bit of center field, it also includes you. For example, Lars Nootbaar is ahead of him, but he only played 22 innings.
Oh, okay. That kind of.
But he has 0 defensive runs saved. Lars Nootbaar does.
Right.
Harrison goes to mybaderpillow.com. Splashback.
Listen, I've seen Bader play center field for a while now, and I've seen a lot of games, at most of them. I watch the others on TV. I think he's the best center fielder in baseball. Maybe I'm jaded. I'm surprised by that. I'm not as surprised because I told you I looked early and I saw it was trending down. I just think he's a difference maker for the Cardinals. And like I said, to me, the compelling thing, and I know he's not a rookie anymore, and he's been here a little while, I still don't think we've seen the best from Harrison Bader. Yeah. And I know you guys are anti. I'm
not, by the way.
I know
I'm
you're
not.
I meant Nate.
I'm not.
Nate is. I like
whatever
everybody.
that guy's name is.
I was semi-joking with the hot take. But
I know.
So here's a better.
You're
think,
instant
we want that though.
Here's I think a better a better piece of context of center fielders this year that have played at least 500 innings. There's only 11 of them. Harrison Bader is 10th in defensive runs saved.
Okay, he's up there.
He's a gold.
No. He's 10th out of 11.
Right.
That's not good. And again, this surprises me.
Yeah, he's a Gold Glover.
In my observation, I think he's one of the best at coming in on the ball, but I've still yet to see Harrison Bader ever rob a home run. I mean, I'm just being honest. I've never seen him.
He made a couple plays where he caught it and he jumped up on the wall. I remember because he jumped and he hit the wall and he fell down and tumbled around a little bit, and I'm like, okay. But he made a couple plays.
Leap over the wall.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's made I can remember a couple of really good plays at the wall where he goes and gets it. I don't remember one of those highlight reel things. I know it's debatable, and I know there's people that disagree. I just watch a lot of games, and I'm telling you, he's a difference maker, and I want that guy in center field.
I get you, 100%.
And if you do have, and I know you can laugh, but plantar fasciitis is no joke. And you're still, at the time, leading Major League Baseball in stolen bases. And you should have seen him too. When he's not a guy that makes a lot of excuses. He really isn't. And you go, so. You've been dealing with this all season. He goes every second, and I try to play through it.
It doesn't go away.
So, to be fair, because I believe him there, if he has been severely compromised with his feet and not able to track balls and run them down as previous years, so last year he was second in all of center fielders in baseball with 15 defensive runs saved. Behind Michael A. Taylor was ahead of him with 19. And by the way, Harrison Bader played 300 fewer innings than Michael A. Taylor. So if you broke it down by innings played, Harrison Bader last year was the best defensive center fielder in baseball in terms of defensive runs saved for how many innings you play. So when I see that, and then I saw the data from today, which really surprised me, I bet you he was severely compromised physically.
Probably.
That's what I said. And look, I still think he was really good. I think there were times he probably wasn't himself. And by the way, he said, look, there were times I felt like it was manageable. But it got to the point where it was too much pain. I wasn't myself. That was his exact quote. So, yeah, I'm defending Harrison Bader here, but best defensive center fielder in baseball. He won a Gold Glove based on those kind of metrics from last year, and that's why I want that guy in center field.
Hot take. Is there any player that Jim doesn't like? No, he's biased. Hold on. But interview players for... Jesus. Hot take. Is there any player that Jim doesn't like? No, he's biased. He interviewed players for a living.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I I was honest about Jack Flaherty, right? I said
100%
right. I mean, I like Jack. I think he's a really good guy, smart guy. It went south in terms of how his rehab went, and this was what he preferred. I'm not blaming him, but I'm just saying it was his choice to do it this way. He convinced the team. Yes, if we're pointing fingers, it's their team. It's their decision too. But it didn't work out. But I think Jack should have handled it a little differently. Not in terms of the rehab, but in his reaction to it. That's all.
So, question. I'm not even trying to get back into it, but I do think it's interesting. Because yesterday we had the whole conversation about when Jack Flaherty said, I know in the media it's your job to find somebody to blame. Do you think, did that tick the media off?
Not me. I don't care.
Not me. I'm saying
yes.
The general media landscape.
Yeah.
In my discussions with other media, yes, they seem ticked off about it. I don't really understand that. It didn't bother me. To me, I just want to report what he said. I don't care. I don't. I like Jack. He's, if you're not performing at the level you want to perform, you're going to be ticked off. So I think he didn't express himself that well. But as I told the other media, if you're thinking that the St. Louis media is going after something, I can't imagine other cities. The media, it's not like the media's soft. The media tends to reflect the way the city is. Cardinal fans generally, outside the people that hate DeYoung and want to kill Bader and Cam, they want the Cardinals to win. They're not looking, they don't lap up the negative stuff. I know you'll get a lot of clicks, but I'm saying generally speaking. So the media isn't trying to pick at the threads. In Philly, they do.
Yeah.
It's a different set. So I just didn't think the media was trying to blame anyone, as we had discussed yesterday. I thought it was, how do we get here? Those.
It's a legit question.
And as Mo said, and here we are.
Here we are.
As Mo said it. So I don't care about the blame game.
See, I do because it's fun, but I have no problem with what anybody said. I have no problem with what Mozeliak said. I have no problem with what Jack said. And I agree with him. We argued about this. I'm not even trying to get back into it, but I feel like what we do is assess blame and evaluate performance.
Be better.
I agree.
Be better.
That's the thing.
And I'm going to ask you, if I was in that scrum, I'd ask you the same damn thing, because it is curious. It is a story.
And I don't I disagree with what Jack said. I don't. Yeah. It's not like I'm mad about it. My opinion of Jack hasn't changed at all. He's a great dude. Hopefully he gets well. We'll find out more, because I think when he's healthy, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. I just disagreed with that.
Big Mike is, of course, he's podcasting, which we want everybody to do. Download the 590 app. And if you can't because you're working, because a lot of people work, when you get home, put that damn thing in your pocket, get your chores done, and jam out to us. People are chiming in. If you're not listening to Hot Take Central, you're missing out. You're damn right you are. But Big Mike, I could tell, is podcasting, probably on a John Deere.
No,
doing his
probably
thing.
In the air-conditioned Lexus driving around.
Probably right. You're right. And he goes, you can rename carp all you want. No one will eat that garbage. All bones, pointless to eat. Big Mike, I told you that. It's all bones.
I disagree, though, because somebody who doesn't know fish, by the way, this happened in Illinois. They're trying to rebrand carp so they can sell it. Somebody who doesn't know anything about fish, they go, oh, this Kopi sounds good. Like if you order a fish and it has some name you've never heard of, Kopi sounds like it would be good. Kopi sounds like a high-end fish.
It's nasty fish, dude.
The word.
I get it, but if you're not like you're at a restaurant and they go, what's your special? Oh, we have grilled Kopi with.
Well, what is it?
With capers. What is Kopi?
I don't ask that.
Well, you should.
Okay, but if
eating
it's
bones,
why wouldn't you ask if you don't know?
Here's why. I'll admit. If it's a fish I had never heard of, but it sounds like a high-end fish, I will pretend I know what it is, so people think I'm an elitist. I would rather not ask, what is that? That's actually carp.
And then they're going to look at you like you're a jackass. They're like, you just ordered nasty.
I am a jackass.
Bone-filled fish.
I don't care what anyone thinks about me, honestly. I'll order whatever the hell I want.
Yeah, but you don't even want
good.
Wait. Now look, it's a funny thing to say. I don't know if I really believe you, but you just said, I don't care what people think, but obviously do if you're too intimidated to ask the waitress or waiter what
fair.
copay.
No, that's fair.
All right. Ooh,
You
okay.
just got me. You got me.
He got you.
What I'm saying though is, if I went to a really expensive restaurant, you went to Salt Bay the other day. They got stuff in different languages. I don't know what all of it means. Usually I look, oh, that sounds good. It's French. Okay, it sounds good. Oh, that sounds like a Japanese fish. That's good.
You're rolling the dice then.
That's what I would do. I'd be like, okay, Kobe.
And you spending $200.
It sounds like Kobe beef. It sounds like
I
something
would never
good.
do that. And you know what? I understand that. If you're going to like a really nice restaurant, I'm going to look at the menu ahead of time so I don't step into that trap. Because the last thing I want to do at a great restaurant where I have a chance to have a great meal is order something I don't really like.
Guess what?
Exactly, dude.
Which is why Cam has made fun of me for this several times. He says it doesn't make sense. I think it makes perfect sense. What do I do when I go to any restaurant when the waiter or waitress comes up? What do I do? You've made fun of me.
Oh, what's the best thing on the menu?
That's what I asked them. Because I want to know.
He'll be like, let me look. And it takes forever. I'm like,
No,
let's go. And he's like, is this good? Yes. What about this? Is this good?
No, I
yes.
don't. If I'm going to a restaurant I've never been to,
My wife does the same thing.
I think you ask the waiter, what is your most popular dish that everybody orders and everybody likes?
I think just trying to get more information about the meal you're going to order is fine. Whatever you want to ask about it. But I will say this. My wife does this. I'm sure every wife does this. But they always want to know the specials. Just because you called it a special, it could mean, look, we got this piece of meat left over from last week. We didn't sell it, so we made it into something else. I'm always suspicious. But women, they're like, oh, what are your specials? And they always act like it's special because it's called a special.
And then Kate will order the same thing I order. And she'll be like, I'll get what he has. No, get something different. Get something different so we could try new different things.
You see, no, I'm different. Like
She's listening to it.
my wife, if she wants what's on my plate, she can have it. If my son wants what's on my plate to try it, he can have it. I'm not into ordering stuff and tasting other people's. I ordered what I want. You order what you want. I don't care if it's the same thing.
But she doesn't know what
I'm
she
not
wants
trying
sometimes.
to taste. We'll try tasting
I
different
want-
things. Now, the bottom line, though, is if my wife said, I would like some of that, she gets it.
Yeah.
But I hated the whole tapas wave. Oh, we'll get a bunch of small plates. No, I want a big plate. And here's the other thing. I don't want someone across the table. We're friends, but now you're eating what I wanted to eat.
No.
Tapas is a bad idea.
No. Don't.
It's un-American.
I don't do that either.
You're
I
saying
agree with
sharing is un-American. Sharing
my food?
Sharing with your neighbors
Again,
doing it.
is un-American.
Not doing
Again, I just said if my wife wants what's on my plate,
That's
which
fine.
is sharing, that's fine.
Your neighbor.
What I'm saying is no.
In this democracy.
No, I'll be glad to pay for my neighbor. But I ordered what I
Oh,
want.
really?
Yeah.
You never complain about taxes for things you don't like paying for?
Oh,
Get out of here.
Charlie.
Let's
That's
go to
where you
break.
went?
Let's
Another
go to break.
W.
You have no
Another
listen.
W.
In this segment.
Another W.
No, listen.
Hold on.
Hold on, real quick. I'm fair. In
No,
this
you're
segment,
not.
No, yes, I am.
No,
Hold
you're
on.
not. You haven't even heard me.
You're gonna like this. In this segment, we're even. You got me on the
You're
fish
claiming
thing.
W's that aren't
No.
Throwing
W's.
W's around.
Listen, I'm claiming one L. You got me on the fish thing.
got you a little
I got
bit.
you on the taxes thing.
No,
I think
you
that's
didn't.
Fair.
You just, I'm at the dinner with friends. I'll pick up the check. I'll pay for
Don't
it.
touch my damn food, though.
But don't take my thing. It has nothing to do with taxes. But if it's an imaginary W you want, you've got it.
1-1 today. 1-1.
Bader is good at making plays look harder than what they really are. He likes
No,
the
he's
highlights
not.
too much.
He's got flash.
Yes, the Cards are better with him at center field than the other options on the team. I get that.
Are
That's
you a
66.
Cardinal fan?
Yeah.
Give me the straight opinion on Harrison Bader
Go.
as a defensive player.
Harrison.
So I've evolved. I used to be like everybody else and didn't like him because
Really?
Too
Just
flashy for St.
Yeah.
Louis.
But
Even though he's a
it's
cock,
more-
we don't like him.
it's more because he was a liability at the plate for so long, and now that he's not anymore. And I think for someone who hits 8th and 9th in the order, I think he's perfect.
How about that?
Defensively, you like him.
Yeah,
He's good.
yeah.
You want him out there.
Yeah.
You want him on that wall.
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
Okay, we got a defender of
That's
Bader
a
on
W for me.
We got a defender of Bader on
I'm
hold.
with you on this.
We got a defender of Bader on hold, and his name is Tomas. Tomas, what's going on, homie? Okie dokie. That made a lot of sense. That was great. You there? See there? No, he's gone.
care.
Okay, call back.
How
I
about
love
this?
that.
How about
He
this?
hung up on us.
Yeah,
I think this is
he
very
forgot what he was
interesting.
going to say.
I think this is very interesting. If you don't agree, that's fine. But again, I love stats, but I'm not Mr. Stats. But a lot of people that know stats much better than I, they always point to this fielding Bible. If you go to the start of Harrison Bader's career in the big leagues, 2017, all right, you just go from 2017 to 2022. And by the way, this year has been bad for him. He is fifth in all of baseball since 2017 for center fielders in defensive runs saved. It's Kevin Kiermaier,
Who's
Lorenzo
really
Cain.
good.
Yeah, Kevin Kiermaier is a stud.
Kane was also really, really good.
It's Kiermaier, Kane, Byron Buxton, who was the number 1 overall pick, Michael A. Taylor, who's also a defensive wizard. So Harrison Bader is fifth in all of baseball since 2017. So it's hard to argue that he's not one of the absolute elite center fielders in baseball.
Okay.
It's really hard to argue that. I know this year, though, he's banged up, and those numbers are not showing this year as past years.
Actually, and your stats are very informative in that he said he's got, pain all season and his defensive numbers are down, which would reflect the guy who was impaired by the physical ailment.
Okay.
So that's a win for you.
Okay. We got text lines blowing up.
2-1 you.
We're making up W's.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right,
Go ahead.
Here's a question. Since Bader's last year with the Cardinals in 2023 before hitting free agency, do you think the Cardinals re-sign him, or do they go with internal options? Is his defense worth a larger contract?
I don't know what kind of contract. I want that guy on the team. Like I said, maybe I'm off base, but I think defensively, in my opinion, he's the best, and I don't think we've seen how good he can be. And I think his offense is just coming around. As we pointed out, he struggled offensively, right? He's gotten it where he's not a liability at all. In fact, he's a plus. And I think there's a lot more in there. So let him get past the foot thing. I'll bet you we're going to see some offensive tracks. There's some power in there that we haven't seen from Bader, too. I just like him on the base paths, and I like him in center field, and I think the best is yet to come.
Here's
could be wrong.
My take from what I've seen and read and just being around those guys a bit. I'm talking Bader and Flaherty. They both strike me as capitalists, and I say that in a positive way. They both strike me as people who want to hit free agency, and I don't see either of them signing a club-friendly deal that gives the Cardinals anything past arbitration. They both got to produce. So for both of those guys, I think the chances of the Cardinals retaining them have improved with them being either injured or not hitting.
Yeah.
Like Harrison Bader, if he hits 280 with 20 homers and steals 35 bases and wins a Gold Glove, it's less likely the Cardinals are able to retain him.
Yep, I get you on that.
Am I wrong there?
No, I think that's right. And people always say, "Well, Jack hates St. Louis." I don't know that that's true. I know he's had disagreements with the organization, but his teammates really like him. I think sometimes there's a perception, he could be that guy he's not.
Okay.
His teammates really like him.
Mickey chimes in and goes, Bader is not capitalized, the best center fielder in baseball. He has problems with balls hit deep and over his head that other center fielders will catch. Again, Hayes is showing his
Partisanship
to the Cardinals players.
How dare you?
I like that I speak Cam. Like I could tell what the word might be, and I already know it.
I know.
How
Look,
dare you?
If people disagree with me, that's fine. That's the fun of baseball. I just think the best is yet to come from Bader. I want that guy in center field.
The best is yet to come.
I think Nasty Nate might have had a huge point last week regarding Flaherty's dominance in 2019. Spidey tack. Didn't Jack have an insane spin rates in 2019? His slider was top 5, I'm pretty sure. Scooter and U-City.
Just so you know, sometimes spin rates are a good tool. Like any other stat, they're a piece of the puzzle.
I get you.
Verhagen has a great spin rate. Right?
He's also getting a lot of guys out there.
Carp are delicious but hard to eat because when you clean them, you can slice their mud vein and taint the rest of the meat. Ooh.
I think
They're
sometimes
disgusting.
I'm not disagreeing with Nate, by the way, with the spin rate thing because I haven't looked it up. I do think, though, that we forget that Jack Flaherty did make 15 starts at the beginning of last year, and that's right when they started doing the whole spin rate spider tack, looking at people's hat situation that happened right there in the middle of that season.
I don't get man crushes with players. I don't give a damn about sports. Really.
Well, you judge them on their if they're handsome or
optically,
not.
yes.
Yeah.
But I look at this Nolan Arenado, and I am a fan of his, man. That dude is a special breed.
So last night, I think the takeaways, one, Helsley is just unbelievable how good he is, right? I mean, you can't touch him. Junior Fernandez, when they need bridge guys, is stepping up. He was very good. Arenado made play after play last night, highlight reel stuff, and it's almost to the point where we've seen it a million times. I hope people appreciate what they're seeing. And Dylan Carlson's gotten hot. You know, they need someone out there in center. He's done a good job. I think he's starting to drive the ball. So there was a lot of good from last night's game.
A lot of good from last night's game. Is Goldie, though, Charlie, like, that guy, man, he's unbelievable, too, don't get me wrong. But, like, is he, like, the most non-talked-about superstar in the MLB?
In Major League Baseball, he's got to be up there. Right now, he's got to be the front runner for MVP. I know our big, strong guy. Is probably right there in second-ish. He also has some good numbers, but Goldie's numbers are off the chart.
They're insane. And if you watch MLB Network, he's talked about a lot. But you mean just with the general fan base. I agree. He doesn't get the notoriety he's due.
And he deserves it. Absolutely. Tommy Edman, he does everything out there, man, that guy. He's always on base.
He's Gold Glove shortstop.
Jeez.
Like, I wondered, second base doesn't always translate to shortstop. I know he's played there before. And he's been Gold Glove shortstop.
But Marlins aren't very good. We were just talking about that. They make mistakes. They're not catching ball. Like
they don't run out grounders.
Did you see Pujols? I saw that double play. Now it took forever, and Pujols and people were kind of chirping Pujols a little bit for that. But I don't know. Those Marlins.
Look,
suck.
you have older players. They're not going to run out balls where they don't think they have any chance.
Yeah.
I understand why fans question it. I'm not judging that. But look, if Yachty doesn't run out a grounder. Albert doesn't run out of grounder. Ollie Marmol will tell you, I don't want those guys hurting themselves.
Yeah, hamstring and stuff. What do you got, Charlie?
You know what I love about Tommy Edman is, and it's so cliche, but it's true to call him a gamer and a ball player, but he really is in the sense that from a situational standpoint, whether it's hitting, defensively, or base running, and it's not necessarily always sexy, but every once in a while, he will surprise you and hit a walk-off homer because he has that in him. But it's more about situational baseball. He always seems to do the right thing or come through. Yeah. For example, and whether it's a guy on third, less than 2 outs, sac fly situation, or yesterday, you saw him just drive the ball the other way and drive in a run with his single. It's just like if there's a situation where Tommy Edman says, okay, look, maybe I'm the leadoff guy, or there's 2 outs, let's say. That's the time where, okay, drive the ball, try to hit a home run, try to hit a double. But if I'm coming up and I'm behind in the count, hit a ball the other way, hit it hard, and drive the run in. He makes the right baseball play. If you go back to Tony La Russa, when I see everything that Tommy Edman does, he is a winning player. Tommy Edman helps you win baseball games in every which way.
Yes, he does.
Which is why he's right up there in WAR with everybody in baseball.
He's tops with Goldschmidt.
That's what I'm saying.
They're both in first place with the WAR of 4.3.
So think about that. That encompasses your entire ability to play baseball. And the fact that Tommy Edman is right up there with Paul Goldschmidt, who does it a totally different way, it shows you how valuable Tommy Edman is.
Yeah, and he's a guy that's not a big guy by any stretch. He looked at his swing, and he figured out a way to keep the bat in the zone longer so he can drive those pitches the other way, with some power. He does have pop. He will hit the gaps, with balls if a pitcher gets the ball up against him. And all that offensively and defensively, they move him second to short, and he's good everywhere. He's good everywhere.
He's a good player, man. We like him. Okay, are we going to go to Cole's questions here? Is that what we're doing?
Sure.
Let's do Cole's questions before we got to talk about Roger Clemens potentially afterwards. Let's get to Cole. I know.
Get to Cole first. Okay.
This isn't a very long one.
There we go.
All right, I'll stick with the Cardinals. So you guys are talking about the lineup a lot, but I think the biggest place I think we would all agree that they need to improve on is either the back end of the starting rotation or just depth in the bullpen. And with the trade deadline coming up, there's not a ton of options out there, and the Cardinals usually don't make big splashes near the trade deadline. So if there's one player on the roster, either in the bullpen or on the IL or in the rotation, that you guys can step up, eat some innings, and provide some depth, who would it be? Because I have one guy in mind. He pitched last night. He looked great. That I think can be a huge difference maker. And I'm curious if you guys have the same player in mind.
You talking about Junior?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Junior.
Junior Fernandez has been a starter. Admittedly, when he first came up, he's got good minor league numbers. He got good stuff. I mean, he can throw a fastball through a wall in addition to the other stuff. He had command issues, and he admitted that he kind of nibbled for too long. Now, he added a sinker, which adds to his repertoire, makes him more able to put guys away, and he's now attacking the strike zone. I think that's an option. I don't know how far away he is. Like, can he be slip right into the starting rotation and go 6 or 7, which they need? Because right now, if you're not going deep, you're killing that bullpen. But I agree. I've been impressed with what he's done, and I think he's turned a corner, but only time will tell.
So I'll give you a different guy, although I like the Junior Fernandez play. But just to be different, I can see this happening later in the season. I do think the Cardinals will get some bullpen guys at the trade deadline, 1 or 2 relievers. But you've also seen in past years, the Cardinals will take a prospect who's a starter. They want to build him up. So Matthew Liberatore, he's been up here. All right, he was okay, not great. Pretty good numbers at AAA. But you wonder if can he also, in the Zach Thompson sense, if you let him make 20, 25 starts at AAA, and then you put him in the bullpen at the end of this season, and you just say, you're a guy who's going to give us multiple innings, and you're only going to throw to a batting order 1 time. And I think that takes a lot of pressure off a pitcher, and I think that's helped Zach Thompson. So if Matthew Liberatore in August becomes a guy who comes in and gives you 1 2/3 innings, he gets you 5 outs, he faces 8 batters, and he doesn't have to see batters for a second time, I think a guy like that could be pretty valuable.
That's a great answer to a great question. I have no idea.
Liberatore. So here's the thing with Liberatore. Like, I don't think he's a long-range bullpen guy because he has too much value as a starter, but I don't think they have any options now to cover the innings they need. And he has good stuff. I agree with you. He's been okay at the big league level, but he's certainly a guy that could get it done too. I know this. Like, we have to find out what's going to happen with Flaherty first, if that's long term. You know, Mo said at some point we'll get him back this year, and Jack's like, I'm pitching this year. We don't know what the in-between is, but that's a big question. And I think if Jack's out, they're going to have to probably go outside because you never have enough arms, even when you think you have it covered.
All right. Sneeze. Sorry, guys.
And Cole, you have a second question?
I do. It's a hockey question.
Oh, cool.
So I saw a tweet from Jim Thomas the other day, the Blues Post-Dispatch writer. He tweeted, Stanley Cup odds already for next year. Came out right after the final the other night. And it surprised me with Avalanche are the favorites. Obviously, they're 5-1. Maple Leafs are plus 900.
Maple Leafs number 2?
Number 2.
Really?
Then there's the Lightning, Golden Knights, Panthers, Hurricanes, all near 10-1. Then there's Calgary, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and Edmonton near 20-1. And then there's the St. Louis Blues all the way down at 25-1. And that surprised me a little bit. I don't know how meaningful these numbers are. We haven't even hit free agency yet, and who knows how that's going to shake out. That surprised me. The Blues are 12th on the list.
12th.
You know why I didn't
12.
take it seriously? Because with Toronto's number 2. They haven't got past the first round. They haven't done so it's like, and you know what? The Blues are like, okay, don't talk about us. Like, okay, we'll sit back here. No one talk to. Now, is an Blues organization like you want people to talk about? You're gonna shut that door, please. You want people to talk about you. Like Lou and the Devils are like, no, don't mind us. We're sitting over here. We're just gonna sneak our way in. We're gonna do our thing. We're gonna be quiet. No one cares. But look, I don't. It is very. Oh yeah, Edmonton. What goalie are they going to use?
Exactly.
The one that lets in 7 a night? Oh, okay, that'll work good for you. You did a good, yeah, that'll work for you. That's a joke. I love Jim Thomas, had nothing to do with him. But, I don't know, man. The Blues are going to be up there, certainly. Vegas is kind of goofy.
That's a good value play. I mean, the Blues have some decisions to make, there's no question. But, right, I'm not a gambler, but that's a good value play, isn't it?
I would think Toronto is up there because so many people bet on Toronto. You can't have them as this big underdog, because the books would get crushed if they actually ever did win the Stanley Cup. So, Cole, you said the Blues are 12th?
12th, 20 plus 2,500.
See, to me, I mean, you can make a very easy argument based on how the playoffs went that the Blues got to the final 8 and they played the Stanley Cup champ better than essentially anyone and could have maybe won that series, potentially, if Binnington stayed healthy. The Blues, to me, are a top 5-ish hockey team. So the fact that they're 12th, I do agree with Jim. That would seem to be good value for a team that is probably around top 5.